Okay, William, got your work up, and one thing I definitely agree with is this class has so much talent. Yes, I totally agree with that, and I think it's really coming through in this currency assignment. So where to start? Let me see. I think this is your strongest piece. I definitely do. There's a couple of things that I would recommend not using, and that's these kind of these feathered gradients. We see it here and we see it here, and they're just not working out very well. I just think that maybe just a solid circle, as opposed to those gradients, might work out much better. This is your strongest piece, definitely, and I think one of the reasons it's your strongest piece is because you're not drawing attention away from the main communication by adding another element in the corner other than 20. Let me give you an example. Okay, so over here you've got the 10 in the corner, and then you've got the reals in the other corner, and that takes away from, there's this thing in design called Hicks' law, and basically what it says is every time you add something to a design, it takes away from what's already there. So by adding these, you're taking away from the whole kind of general visual posture here. So I recommend not using those. I mean, we get it. We get that it's film. Totally get it. Now, what I would recommend wait, hold on one second, because we see that a couple of times over here. Here we see the Volkswagen in the corner, so we don't need that. And then see Oktoberfest, you haven't used it, and look how well that works out. Okay, so that is definitely something I would recommend. All right, let's go through each bill individually. Okay, this is your strongest bill, definitely. What I would recommend from here is adding those security marks. You know, those, if you take a look at some of the other videos from the other students, I've mentioned it to just about every student, you have those little seals and those emblems, and they're little security marks, and you can see them on all denominations of American currency, but they're also present on all sorts of different denominations. The other thing is these kind of textured pattern backgrounds. And the reason, of course, there is to prevent counterfeiting, which is something that would always definitely be taken into consideration in the design of currency. So think about that. I'm not sure about the size of your bills, because let me just Command R that. Let me bring that up. Okay, so right now these are 8 inches by, well, roughly 7 inches by 5 inches, which is fine. But let's take a look at another one. Command R that. Yeah, they're the same size. Each of these bills are the same size, and I highly recommend differentiating your bills by size, and that's something that all currency design, modern contemporary currency design, is doing now. Eventually, we'll have it in this country, but most European countries have different sizes, as we saw in that article that I included. All right, again, individual pieces. Let's do this. This gradient right here isn't working, and the reason it's not working is because you don't have it anywhere else. So in the body of work, this is something that would be different, and anytime you have something different, you have to consider removing it or making something else like. So again, in design, you don't want to have one sole design element out there that's not consistent with the rest of the package. So far we have that. We have the security marks. You have the patterns here in the background. That's a good job. But again, I think that you need a little bit more indication that these are actual currency, and I think the best way to do that is to go to that article and take a look at some of those little emblems and marks and seals they have in the different denominations. Okay, this piece I don't think is going to work, and I'm going to tell you why. It would never fly as currency because it's considered advertising, so it wouldn't work. I'm totally fine with you using the live trace, that's fine, but definitely would consider using something other than the Volkswagen and making that visible. I mean, you can use a Volkswagen van, maybe the classic 70s Volkswagen minibus, but show a side version, you know, with something that's not showing the logo, because that would, again, be considered advertising. This piece, the main distraction here is that big circle in the background. I would reconsider the presentation of the projector, and also try to give some indication of what the projector is for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can allude to the German film industry in here somehow. I don't know what they call it, but you can definitely allude to that German film industry in there, so we know, the viewer knows that there's a reason there's a projector. Okay, and then the gradient. That's it, really. Other than that, I think that these are really fun and interesting. So I think you've done a great job. Illustration-wise, I think you're showing really good techniques, and that's mainly what I'm after is the illustrative techniques that we're using here. After all, it is a class in illustration, right? One other final suggestion is I would reconsider any kind of presentation that entails multiple files. Anytime you're presenting to a client, an art director, a creative director, or even another designer, make it easy on them by creating a multi-page PDF so that your viewer doesn't have to open 4 separate PDFs. They only have to open one with multi-pages instead of multi-files. Hope that makes sense. All right, great job. Thank you very much. Any questions, let me know. Thanks, William.